G'day everybody. Once again, another quick chat about my study, about actions and opposite reactions from your thoughts and actions. As I've talked about before, when you go spiritual, and so is the Bible in many ways, and it's only happened for certain people, perhaps only for the real, that you'll go through bad things, that the devil will come after you and all this. I heard all this kind of stuff. And then I started studying it the last few years, seriously, right? As I've put up videos and done a lot of things. And I want to tell you today's little study. I've noticed I do one every week. I see patterns all the time. And then I decide, hey, I'll have a chat about it and record it. And we'll check it up later, because this will go with a few patterns already when it comes to strange things. But how long does things last? As we've heard stories before. Now, we've all heard stories, once you go righteous, the devil come after you and all that, for the strong righteous. The other righteous are just people who play scripts. You play a script, play the game, not be really real, do it for a job kind of thing. You won't get these problems, right? As you technically still work for this bad entity, the thing I talk about, the Bible talks about. So you don't really get these problems, right? But if you're going to be serious all your life and you're going to be literally changed and all this kind of stuff, you may get these stories of the Bible, right? And as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of people who are really into spirituality would say they're the more real cases. The rest of the people are up and downs, and maybe a little bit like before I got really serious into it, right? Which is really practice and study what you preach for real and be serious about it. Do get an answer. If you all did this, we'll all get answers, as I'm talking about right now, that can help us look back on the Bible, on how they say it worked, and then it works, or it doesn't. You know what I mean? You find out it's all a complete lie, and it makes slave drivers and all that kind of stuff. It just helps the wolves. Right? And that's what I wanted to find out. And so, with a little $500 loan, what would you do best wise with your money? Now, you know you need better cameras to do things. You got a big list. But what's the most priority thing when it comes to a list? Well, as far as I'm concerned, it's your safety and health. Isn't it? Right, so if you got anything that on that list that's important when it comes to your safety and health, that should be the top before bonuses and extra luxuries. True? So in this one, it was security cameras and health, and a new project for health, so something to do instead of being bored, right? Which was a machine device to help melt down metal and shape metal, right? And I managed, and just with one of these costs, if you're not wise or you want something just a little cooler, it'll cost you the whole $500 nearly on one of these things, or at least two of them. But I managed to get them on a really cheap price. Right? And we hope that things go good when we do the right decisions. Right? Cheap price. Right? Is that true? Yes, that'd be true, more likely. So I ordered these orders. And I've talked about orders before, but this is just the one thing I'll talk about orders again. And I ordered these stuff. And you'd think when it comes to, and your health, you know, is getting worse every day. So what you ordered will help that health. Right? So you'd think that if God or an entity or something out there, that it'll help you get it quicker, wouldn't you? Not longer. You wouldn't expect it to be longer, would you? And on the bonus things, you'd expect that to either rock up the same or be longer than the product that's more better for you if you ordered them at the same time, but they come from different places. They all come from different places. One is further than the other, but you'd expect things to rock up even from the further one roughly at the same time. So if it was 2 weeks roughly, you should get it, but you get it in a week, then you'd expect that. Oh, it's usually 2 weeks, but you usually get it in a week. Maybe I might even get it in 4 days, you know, if energy was with me on the choices to show that I'm making the right choice, or to show where I am of what's out there, right? And so what happens is you see the things that rock up, your bonuses rock up. Right? In this case, I got the bonuses and a security thing. But the security thing wasn't the security thing I wanted. Now, we needed extra cameras, but I also wanted to make sure that it can see and hear you really good. right? As it does better security. But then the cameras turn up and they're dodgy. So they come quick, but they're dodgy. And you didn't make a very good deal. Perhaps when it comes to safety and health, perhaps cheapness is a bad thing. I've seen something. Sometimes you go, oh, perhaps I shouldn't have went cheap. But you get good deals all the time, right? And so you go, oh, maybe perhaps it's cheaper because it was dodgy. They should know that, otherwise they're scammers. Things you think about when you go through things, because every time we do an action, we see if we get a positive or not positive. When we don't, we think about why didn't that happen. So I just gave you some scenarios. And then the thing that takes the longest is the thing for your health. So your health's the most important, right? But God wants you to wait longer, and that takes longer to come. And you'll be like, well, I did the right thing. Why didn't that come earlier? Why didn't it come earlier than what it usually does, or at least come on standard time? Why would that come longer? Right? Perhaps it's just this one time, but it's been many times. Every time it's come to that in the last few years, you'd notice those things always last. Always have a problem where you've got to double up on them and things like that, and you think you made the wrong decision. And that's not a good idea, a good thing to think about, is it? It's a thing that makes you struggle. It's a thing, And we've heard about that in the test, right? I've talked about that and that God does to you. But how long does that need to happen? And why would that happen even if you were doing good before and now you're doing even better and you're actually sticking more to what you say instead of just saying it? Right? So you used to just give wisdom but didn't stick to it so much. We know how many people out there do that, right? But now you're doing it, and now you're getting the attacks and happens to you. No wonder it doesn't happen if you see that, wouldn't you? No wonder people don't give up. Hear that? Because that's the devil. As the Bible would say, it's the devil comes in and goes, and if you can't get through this, then you shouldn't be a chosen one. So you must be special then. See, I think if you go through such things, the Bible says you're special. You're going to become something. So you either become nothing, kill yourself, because some people go through this and actually die. I guess they fail God's test. Or they get to go to God but don't get to have the last little cool thing on the planet. They don't get to have the last cool meal before they die. But they get to have heaven. And if you get through that little hard test, then you may get to have a little bit of, you get to have a little bit of fun here before you go. What do you reckon? The study still continues. But the healthy thing hasn't been late yet. Tomorrow, it'll be right where it's meant to come. It's the latest. But when you did these orders normally on bonus stuff, they would come half time. When it comes to the time they give you, it's usually half the time's normal. Right? And usually you get it right just before the end of that time or just after, because you get a $5 bonus on this. It shouldn't come just after. So that means something usually happened. Right? They don't expect it to happen, but it happened. And it seemed to happen on that time, didn't it? Because perhaps some people would say, tarot readers would say, it's a spell. The devil does spells. People go, I don't know why this happened. These accidents keep happening. Who knows? But that's more study. That's why when you're in a group, you could study these things better and quicker and find out answers. When you study by yourself, it takes a long time. That's why working together is a good thing. But anyway, I thought I'd chuck that out. Still sitting around to get this health thing done. As you can hear my voice, it's very up and down. I'm fighting it with medication, stuff like that. But I thought I'd just chuck out my little saying there when it comes to that. Because the thing when it comes to health too, I needed the extra time after I get it, before I could even get it rolling. But it goes, here's some security that's dodgy and the same, and you might as well use one of your old boxes. Imagine that you've got something that you can use that doesn't really have voice on it, but you get another one that you want voice, but then it ends up becoming just like the other one. you go, huh? What happened there? But anyway, have a good one, everybody. This is just a study. I'm not upset at all. It takes time to get things done. I'm a good person that goes with the flow. But no matter what you do, it's good to record things, because it might mean nothing now. Right? When you first do this one, the first odd moment. Right? I did this a few times. It's going to be nothing. It could be something, it could be nothing, you'll be saying. Then after a while, you start to go, hang on. hang on, you might even start to say things and go, I expect this to happen. And then it happens. Shocking, isn't it? But anyway, have a good one, everybody. And good luck if you ever do such a study and really check it out and record it. And you let me know if you just go whizzing through. The ones that just go whizzing through, that's okay. That just means you're an average. You know what I mean? And the ones that go through certain other things may be something different. Either they definitely need to be in that sector, or they shouldn't be there. Right? And God does certain things, but I don't think God does anything when it comes to bad guys getting in their stuff. In fact, he allows it to see what the good guys here in their test will do about it, because that's the true fact about us collectively here in this blue bubble, is what are we going to do about it with God's advice? And have a good one.